All right, so I'm back with another video. Just a little update. I'm doing a lot better, still improving. Um, Not really dealing with any pain anymore. I'm moving around a lot more often. I'm feeling pretty good. Technically, I feel like I can get back on the water now, but I want to play it safe, give myself a few more weeks, maybe another month, to keep recovering, feel more back to normal, and feel really comfortable getting back on the water. Plus, in the meantime, we are in winter, and we are dealing with some pretty heavy cold snaps right now. It's in the 20s and 30s at night here in Florida, and the most is getting around midday is, upper 40s, maybe lower 50s. So it's pretty cold. So am I missing the water? Yeah, but right now, mostly I probably wouldn't be on the water anyways with the weather right now. So I'm just going to keep focusing on recovering and getting better. And then, in a few weeks, I'll hopefully be back on the water. But in the meantime, I thought it would be a cool idea to show you what my standard tackle box looks like. Depending on what type of fishing I'm doing, what type of fish I'm targeting, that will depend on what gear and things I bring on the water. But if I'm just inshore fishing, going for redfish, trout, flounder, that sort of thing, and this would be the tackle box that I bring. I primarily like to throw artificials. I just love lure fishing. I will use bait from time to time, but today I'm just going to kind of show you what my standard tackle box looks like for lures inshore. We'll get straight into it. All right, so like I said, I have one tackle box, and then I have some soft plastics, and this is essentially going to be my standard set of artificials and stuff that I'll take out on the water with me when I'm going inshore fishing. So I will start out with these soft plastics. I will say if you're new to lure fishing or you're just starting out and you're still trying to get comfortable, I highly recommend throwing soft plastics the most to start out with. When it comes to lures, they're probably the easiest to fish. Now, more specifically, what I mean for easy soft plastics are paddle tails, and that's what these are. You can rig it with a jig head or a weedless hook, and then you can bounce out the bottom, you can do twitches, but what makes this an easy lure is it works pretty well just with a straight retrieve. I've caught a lot of good redfish and trout and stuff by just casting out and doing a straight reel in, a straight retrieve. I'm not doing anything fancy working the lure. Now what you can do is you can vary it up. You can do a slow retrieve where you're slowly reeling it back in, or you can do a fast retrieve and kind of burning it back to you reeling real fast. You just want to experiment, change it up until you start getting some bites. But yeah, these are easy to fish with, especially if you're just doing a straight retrieve. And what I would recommend getting is a 3-inch paddle tail. That's what all these are, with the exception of those Hoodwink, which I'll get to in a second. But for the matrix shad paddle tails, I'm fishing the 3-inch paddle tails. 3 inch is kind of like a universal size. It's not super small, it's not big. It's just a good bait size that a lot of fish are attracted to. These are the Matrix X Shad. It's basically just a line of Matrix Shads that have lifelike patterns. So this is the finger mullet, and then I also have it in the pinfish. Just natural skins, kind of match the hatch to look like pinfish or finger mullet, some of the popular bait fish that redfish and trout like to eat. But I do have the regular Matrix Shads as well. These are some more colorful ones. This one kind of has like a green bluish hue, and then this is kind of like a straight chartreuse or yellowish type Matrix Shad lure. I'll use these more vibrant ones in a little bit dirtier water, and then if I'm fishing clear water, which we tend to have a lot of clear water around here, I'll use like these lifelike, more natural type baits. But yeah, that's the Matrix Shad, the paddle tails. The other soft plastic is the Hoodwinks that I mentioned. These are a bit bigger, 4.75, so almost 5 inches. I like to use these when I'm specifically more bouncing the bottom or fishing a little bit deeper water. These sink to the bottom real quick, and they like to hug the bottom, and kind of fish a little bit slow, barely bump off the bottom. I'll tend to fish this when I'm hoping for some flounder or targeting flounder, because like I said, these hug the bottom really well, and they bounce off the bottom really well. But a lot of times when you're trying to target flounder, you'll certainly get redfish and trout. So these do good for all inshore fish as well. Like I said, these are the Hoodwinks. They're made by Southern Salt. For the most part, those are the only soft plastics I'm fishing. Matrix shad paddle tails, and then the Hoodwinks. Another time I'll use the Hoodwinks is when I'm specifically wanting to rig weedless. For these paddle tails, I'm usually using a jig head. But if I want to go weedless, I will put a weedless hook on these Hoodwinks. It has a slit where you can rig weedless pretty well and pretty easy. And then in my tackle box, I have a Plano Edge tackle box, and I have these customizable little slots that I can take out and move around to where I can make my own size slots to how I want to, put my tackle in here. So that's pretty cool. This is a waterproof tackle box, which is a good thing. But I'll kind of show you what I have in my tackle box here. So, like I said, mainly throwing lures, but I do have some other things if I am fishing with live bait. So I do always carry at least one popping cork, especially if I'm fishing live shrimp or something like that. A lot of times I like to use popping corks for that. Have some various jig heads, mostly 1/4 ounce, but I do have some 3/8 ounce, some 1/2 ounces, and even 1/8 ounce. But mostly I'm fishing with 1/4 ounce when I'm flats fishing. To go back to if you're starting out lure fishing, like I said, I recommend the paddle tails, the 3-inch paddle tails. And for a standard jig head weight when you're fishing the flats, just go with a 1/4 ounce. It casts really well. It's not too heavy, it's not too light, and you can easily fish with that. And then I have some various hooks, like weedless hooks, some various circle hooks, 2-aughts, 4-aughts, that sort of thing. Some split shots, some beads. But getting into the lures, I have a few hard baits. So for top waters, which I love fishing top water, first thing in the morning or late evening, when it's real calm, the sun is kind of just rising or starting to go down. The top water really shines a lot of times. So for the top water, I like to throw a Matrix Mullet. This is made by Matrix Shad company as well. Yeah, I just love this thing. Cast out, walk it back, and you'll get some of those top water explosions, which is so fun. But this is a Matrix Mullet. You can tell it's pretty beat up. I've used this quite a bit and I've caught a lot of fish on it, and it's still going strong. I will mention that any hard lures I buy, I take the stock hooks off and I replace them with BKK treble hooks. There's a lot of hooks out there where the redfish have bent it or even broken it, but I finally found some treble hooks where I can put a lot of pressure on the fish and I never have to worry about it bending or breaking. These things are super sharp, super durable. They are a little pricey, but you get what you pay for, and these hooks have never failed me, and I have a lot of confidence in these BKK treble hooks. I won't use any other treble hooks at this point, so can't say enough good things about the BKK treble hooks. So we also have the Ripshad. So when I'm done fishing top water, I want to fish the mid-water column. This is my go-to twitch bait, jerk bait style. This is made by Matrix Shad as well. I primarily fish a lot of Matrix Shad lures. I have a lot of confidence in them. I love them. But yeah, this is the Ripshad. I probably throw this lure more than any other lure. I just love this thing. Basically, when you cast it out and you start doing some twitches, you barely need to twitch it, and it's very erratic. Just a little bit of twitch, and it's just erratic in the water. Great action on it. Basically, when you twitch it, it kind of dives down a little bit, and then when you pause, it slowly rises back to the surface. So a lot of times you'll do a twitch to get it down, and as it pauses and you start rising down, rising back up to the surface, that triggers a lot of the bites. I've definitely caught redfish on this, but this seems to just be an absolute trout slayer. The speckled trout love this thing. So if I'm in, if I'm specifically targeting trout, or I know I'm in a location where I've caught trout, or the trout bite's really good, I'm throwing this and I'm just crushing them usually. I do have this Mirrodine XL. This is a popular twitch bait on the Gulf Coast. Can't go wrong with having a Mirrodine in your tackle box. If I feel like I want a bigger profile bait instead of that Ripshad, I'll tie this on. But I'm mostly fishing the Ripshad, but I will tie this on from time to time if I want to fish with a bigger bait, and I'm trying to go for larger fish, depending on the time of year and things of that nature. And then lastly, I got a couple of shrimp lures. This is the Savage Gear Manic shrimp. It's always nice to have a shrimp lure in your tackle box. Pretty much everything eats shrimp. It's one of the most popular baits that catches a lot of fish. During the summer, I won't fish this too much. Mostly fishing the ripshads, the paddletail, stuff like that. But during the springtime, I really love fishing a shrimp lure. The springtime, the fish are starting to get more active, but a lot of the bait fish hasn't shown up yet. So a lot of those inshore fish are primarily feeding on crustaceans like shrimps, crabs, that sort of thing. So fishing a shrimp lure, especially in the spring, you can have a lot of success. This is, I think, a 4-inch Manic shrimp, and it already comes pre-rigged with a weedless hook, so it's weedless as well. But you can see that tail has a lot of action. Just cast it out, let it sink, and kind of bump it off the bottom a couple times, let it sink again, and slowly work it back to you. I do tend to fish this pretty slow. I'll let it sit on the bottom for a few seconds, bump it, let it sit again, and then I'll kind of repeat that. Same thing here, just a different color. Savage Gear Manic shrimp. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So I like to keep a couple of hard baits, twitch baits, jerk baits, top wire plugs, and then some shrimp imitation lures, along with my various soft plastics, some paddle tails, the Hoodwink. Man, I love these right here. And then other than that, I got a pop and cork, jig heads, weights, hooks, that sort of thing. But yeah, pretty simple, and that's kind of my standard go-to inshore tackle box. All right, so that was a quick walkthrough of my tackle box, a little Tackle Tuesday for you. If you have any questions about the lures I use, or any questions in general about lure fishing, inshore fishing, leave a comment below, let me know, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. All right, have a good one.